Hello there. I hope you are doing fantastically well, having an amazing week, and are ready for an incredible weekend. Life is good here. What can I say? I'm in Montenegro and enjoying a little vacation here and having a great time. So it's beautiful. I've got the curtains closed because it's so bright outside that it was hard to even see the screen with all the reflection. I thought I might sit outside today, but we're facing west, and so the sun is coming right at me, and it was a little bit intense. So instead, here I am inside. I hope all's well with you, that you are enjoying yourself wherever you are. Hello, Matthew. Good to see you. Let's see, who else do we have here? Adam, Alex, Jared, nice to see you all. I hope you guys are doing great. Goddess Remembering, hello there. Achi Pirovano, good to see you. Despertando, Enrique from Brazil, and many more. LX Durian, there we go. Good to see you, Matthew. Fernanda, hola. Okay, let's see. Joe Smith is here. Hello, and says, after eating our meal of fruit, is it a good idea to wash or rinse our mouth up? Well, you can. If you're eating fresh fruits, nothing really sticks to your teeth. So if you're concerned about your teeth, it's not really a problem. But you can. You definitely don't want to brush after eating because your teeth, the enamel on the teeth, is actually softened by fruit acids. And so if you brush right after eating, your teeth are soft. You're going to brush away some enamel. So instead, you want to wait. But if you want to gently rinse your mouth, that's perfectly fine. No problem there. Okay? Well, thank you, Hannah. Beautiful. Okay. All right. I hope that makes sense. George says, what do you think about the raw food dial? What do you think about the raw food dial? I have no idea what that is. I can't comment. I've never heard of it. I don't know what a raw food dial is. Sorry about that, George. If you want to explain, that's fine. Hello, Tarek. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope life is good for you in Turkey. Were you in Turkey? I know you're Turkish, but I don't remember if that's where you are. I think so. All right. Amir says, good morning, Loren. When and how did you come up with the formula used to interpret blood pressure for blood volume, trial and error, increasing water intake to see how much the spread can go up for each systole? No. What happened was I simply went back and reviewed. I'm looking at what's happening in real time and reviewing past data and started to see some patterns. So it wasn't so complicated, really. It took me a while to figure out some of the details of that to make it all actually make sense and be correct. But that's basically how it happened. Theodore says, hi, Loren. Hope you're doing fine. Have you noticed any of your joints getting rid of cracking joints as a result of fasting? Yes, that happens all the time. Literally all the time. Hello, Angela. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Self-made. Good to see you. Linda. Nice to see you here. Yagon Hanot. Nice to see you. Okay. Flyer says, hi, Loren. What would a safe organic shower soap should be made of, ideally, please? Even after a year of only fruit and lettuce without fasting, I'm still feeling not clean enough. Thanks. Well, so soaps are generally, at a minimum, are going to have, I think, 3 ingredients. But you can find, there are probably, I don't know where you are, but you can probably find handmade organic soaps that have a minimum number of ingredients. And that's what I would look for. Specifically, I'm not an expert in making soap, but I think you want the minimum number of ingredients possible in your soap. And if you feel like you need something, that'll help you. Okay. All right. Jadel Emmanuel says, hello there. I eat about 2 to 4 papayas a day, and now notice my hands are orange. Should I stop eating as much as much? I'm a raw vegan vegetarian. Well, yeah. If you're eating so many carotenes that your skin is turning orange, then you're probably taking in more than you need to. Okay. And so you would probably benefit by mixing it up a little bit, right? There are many different fruits, different colors. Each different color contains different phytonutrients. It's the phytonutrients, again, the carotenes that make papayas and mangoes and oranges and peaches and nectarines and apricots, give them their orange tone. And they also are found in leafy green vegetables, carotenes. But if you're getting more carotenes than you need, and so your skin is turning orange, then you probably want to eat fewer carotenes and more of something else. So yes, I would encourage you to look for other fruits that you like and maybe back off a little bit on the papayas. Okay, I love papayas myself, but it sounds like you're taking in more than your liver is. The liver processes the carotenes, and it's probably more than your liver can handle. So you're pushing it out through your skin. Probably be good to back off just a little bit. All right. Hello, Adriana. Nice to see you here. Jeffrey says, will Tanglewood Housing Project have an HOA? That's a homeowners association. Yeah, Jeffrey, it's not the Tang. I mean, I understand exactly what you mean. You're talking about Las Cascadas. And at Las Cascadas, I think what we're going to be doing there is what's called a green condominium, where you own your lot and whatever you build on it, as well as a share of all the common land. And much of the land will be commonly owned by all members. All members of the community will own a share of the condominium association in the land. So yes, essentially, it'll be like an HOA where everybody has a say in what happens. There'll be some minimal monthly fee to support that work, but basically that's it. Okay, that's what's going on. All right, Amir asks, do your clients experience dry mouth or thirst while fasting? Does it always mean they need more water, or sometimes it's just symptoms of detoxification? The body actually doesn't need more water. Generally speaking, a dry mouth is a sign that your body needs more water. It is possible as the body is detoxing and reabsorbing toxins from the intestine into the bloodstream, that's reflected on your tongue. And that heavy enough coating can make your mouth feel dry. But generally speaking, when this is going on, most people actually do need more water. So in almost every case, yeah, it actually is a sign you need more water. Mouth shouldn't be dry. Okay. Hello, Todd. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Queen of Dreams says, have you ever hosted someone who was overwhelmed by the smell of ammonia while refeeding after a water fast? And if so, would you please talk about why this happens to some and what it means? Well, I'm sorry, I don't think there's enough information here for me to answer your question because I'm not sure exactly what you mean. We don't use ammonia on site, so we wouldn't have anything there. I don't know if someone would be overwhelmed by that smell. Ammonia is nasty stuff, and it's probably not a bad thing to feel overwhelmed by the smell. So if that happened to you, then you just want to stay away from it. I mean, this is your body, your intelligent body saying, leave this stuff alone. Not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to have that situation. Okay, but I'm not sure under what circumstances that someone would experience this. It's not something we've ever had to deal with. All right, Maya says, what to do when having a goiter on a raw diet? How much iodine would be good? Well, unfortunately, each case is different, and so it's impossible to say to answer your question. A goiter, for those people who don't know, is an enlargement of the thyroid gland and generally suggests that there's an issue, and often it could be a lack of iodine. But iodine is a trace mineral. We need tiny, tiny amounts of it. So I've never supplemented with iodine, or over the last 30 years, anything else. Have no problems with iodine, with B12, with absolutely anything. We should not need to supplement this. If you do supplement, you want to be super careful because with iodine, if you take more than just a little tiny bit, it's actually toxic to you. Okay, we need just tiny, tiny trace amounts of this stuff. How much exactly, I couldn't say. You'd probably have to have, the specific situation. You have to look and see what's going on there. But for most people, this really shouldn't be an issue. Okay? The bait shop guy says that shirt is cool. Kind of looks like a zebra striped shirt. Okay. Thanks so much. I like it. It's organic cotton. It's very comfortable. To be honest, I just came up a few minutes ago. I'm staying here on the water in Montenegro with my partner, and we were just down there and just came up out of the sun. I actually took off a wet bathing suit and put on some dry shorts, but otherwise, I just came up here to do this broadcast. It is what time? 5 o'clock in the 5:15 in the afternoon here now. So, yeah. Okay, Amir says, I have a root canal and a big amalgam tattoo on my gum. I don't have access to a holistic dentist. Is it better to have it removed by a regular dentist and water fast 3 to 7 days right after? Is that long enough? Well, to be honest with you, because taking out these amalgams, mercury amalgam fillings, has to be done properly so that you're not exposed to a lot of mercury, you say you don't have access to a holistic dentist. I mean, what I would do if I were you is I would find a dentist that actually knows how to do this properly. And I wouldn't get it done until you had a dentist that actually knows how to do it, because you're going to be exposed to much more mercury during the procedure of taking it out than you are when it's in your mouth. Okay, so you're probably better off waiting for the time being until you can find someone who actually knows how to do this properly and safely. This isn't something you just do haphazardly. Okay, you want to make sure it's done the way it should be done. I hope that makes sense. All right. Jarate Grin says, thank you so much for information. Is it okay sometimes to sunbathe in the sun naked? Have an amazing time in Montenegro. Yes, absolutely, perfectly fine to sunbathe naked, assuming that you're in a place that permits that you're not going to wind up locked up or pissing off your neighbors or whoever it might be. But yeah, I mean, it's great to expose all of your body to sunlight. And if you have a place to do that, that's fantastic. And I am having an amazing time in Montenegro. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, Vegan Fuerte de Welt is here. Hello there. Maria, you're very welcome, Jadel. Hello, Niall. Good to see you. Luna, nice to see you. Evita, bienvenidos. Hey, Mark. Good to see you, man. How you doing? Naya is here. Sheila. Okay. Tatyan Cobb says, Loren, hi. I filled a form on Tanglewood website, but haven't got a response yet. How do I book a consultation with you? Well, first of all, you don't necessarily have to. I mean, if the form was for a consultation, then you did the right thing. And what I will do, I'm so sorry. We have been so busy at Tanglewood. I've been so busy personally with Tanglewood and other projects. I'm a little behind. So I will do my best to get back to you within the next 24 hours. Now, if you don't hear from me, you can go to info@tanglewoodwellnesscenter.com or go back to our website and just do a contact us. Click on that button, send me a message. Hey, completed the form, haven't heard from you. This is what I'd like to do. Tell me whatever it is you need, and I'll get right on it. It's actually easier that way because I may not remember. I mean, I have this, I have another call, et cetera. Life. After that, I'll be busy with my partner here, and so that would probably be the way to do it. Okay, just send us a message. Hello, Boulevard. Nice to see you, Sheila. Hello there. Is it safe to get a tattoo living as a raw vegan for 10? Well, honestly, tattoos aren't particularly good for anyone. We are putting toxic stuff into the bloodstream. You're going to be absorbing some of these toxins into the bloodstream. So I wouldn't recommend that anyone get a tattoo. I think it's probably not a very good idea. Hello, Chea from Uganda. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Ito, nice to see you here. Okay. Let's see where we are. We've got some super chats here I'm going to come to. Live Your Bliss. I don't see a super chat feature. Does anyone else notice that? There is a super chat feature. We have people making super chats here. Live Your Bliss. I'm not sure what happened, but it should be available for you. It may depend on where you are. In certain countries, you can't do it. Would fasting help with Graves' disease? Absolutely. We've helped various people with Graves' disease. Almost any thyroid condition can be helped by fasting because the problem isn't a broken thyroid. The problem is the condition of the system. So when we give the body a chance to truly cleanse and heal itself, almost always we're going to see amazing things happen. Okay, almost every single time. All right. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. That's very kind. All right. Rebecca Najib has made a contribution, asked, well, Loren, what are your thoughts on infrared saunas? So it's a great question. And it's, honestly, I'm not, well, I'll be glad to answer you. I'll answer you in just a moment. What I was going to say was, there are some studies that suggest that infrared saunas provide some health benefits, right? I mean, when I say a study suggests this, it's not proving anything. It's looking at data. It seems to indicate that that's what happens. Now, my issue with saunas, first of all, let's back up. Conventional saunas, for anyone who doesn't know, conventional saunas are usually very hot, and I believe probably not a great idea because you're sweating out electrolytes, you're dehydrating the body, you then have to rehydrate, bring back in the electrolytes. You don't want to drink just pure water. You're going to put yourself in trouble. This can be an issue. Infrared saunas tend to operate at much lower temperatures because infrared lights don't heat the air. Okay, they heat solid objects, which then re-radiate heat, but they don't heat the air. And so infrared saunas are usually going to be not nearly as hot as a regular sauna. And I think that's a really important thing because regular saunas are really too hot to be healthy. So infrared saunas are much better, no question about it. Now, in the old days, most infrared lamps put out a lot of electromagnetic radiation. These days, newer lamps are much cleaner. They're much safer to be around. Are they completely safe? I'm not so sure about that, okay? For me, the best way is to get sunlight. Obviously, if you live someplace that has a cold winter, it might be useful to have a way to keep warm, to get a little bit of infrared light during the winter time, but there's no comparison. We can never compare anything to actual sunlight because there's a whole spectrum from infrared to ultraviolet, and that we've been able to measure. It may well be there's more than that. We simply can't measure it. Okay, the only way we know we're actually getting every spectrum, every part of that full spectrum, is by getting actual sunlight. So my recommendation would be to get sunlight wherever possible. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But I think infrared saunas can be one option and probably aren't too bad. Okay, Cohen HD has made a €5 contribution and says, you said you eat a very modest amount of food. Does the amount of food you need go down quickly after an extended water fast or gradually over? No, when you complete a properly accomplished fast, your body will be much more efficient. Okay, so if you fast, for instance, if you fast with me and you take my coaching, you do it properly, in other words, after 21 days of fasting, you will definitely need less food than you would have needed before because your body will be much more efficient. If you don't fast properly, you won't necessarily see that happen. Okay, and of course, it depends on how you break the fast, etc. But the way we do it, virtually everybody becomes much more efficient, and pretty much by the time they're done, they're going to be much more efficient. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right. Linda Massey says, I've recently found out I have pernicious anemia and require B12 injections for life. I was wondering if this can be reversed through fasting and raw vegan diet. Thank you. Linda, that's a difficult question to answer. I think the answer is yes, but every case is different. So the thing is, what happens in your body is going to be different than what happens in my body and different what happens in somebody else's body. But listen, we hear all the time from people who have conditions medicine says can't heal. I mean, medicine says hypertension can't heal. You've got 100% success healing hypertension with more than 400 clients. They say that type 2 diabetes can't heal. We see type 2 diabetes healing literally all the time. Okay. They say that Lyme disease can't heal. They say that some of these thyroid conditions can't heal. Lower GI tract. These are conditions that medicine says you need medication forever. And people come to us and typically don't need medication at all. So the fact that they say that this pernicious anemia can't heal, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the case. I would never believe that. I would choose to believe my body can heal anything, and then I would see what it's capable of doing when I give it the optimal conditions to heal. That means fasting long enough and properly, Linda. And here's the thing, even if you complete a fast and it's not completely healed, you're going to be much, much healthier in every measurable way. You can only benefit from fasting. Okay, there's absolutely no downside. There's nothing to lose. So if it were me, I would definitely plan on fasting for 21 days or more. Okay. I can guide you through the process either at Tanglewood or remotely. Obviously, if you can get to us, it's incredible. But for those who can't, we work with people remotely, and that helps quite a bit as well. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. All right, Angela Sururu says, "Hi, I just became raw vegan after being vegan for 3 years. I've been having fruit bowls with the diversity of fruits, but I don't know how much fruit is enough to eat every day." Well, you can quickly find out by seeing what happens. You may wind up losing a bunch of weight at first. That's actually fairly normal and natural. And if you need to lose weight, it's not a bad thing. If you don't need to lose weight, then it might tell you that you need to increase your intake of calories. Okay. But one of the things that you can do is you can keep your meals as simple as possible, Angela. What happens in nature is animals typically eat one thing at a time. Occasionally two things. Most chimps and bonobos, for instance, will eat fruit and soft, tender leaves together. And we can do the same thing, okay? But in their poop, the scientists who study them say there's rarely more than two things present. Usually it's one or two things, that's it, okay? So you really, rather than eating a variety of different things at the same time, focus on one thing at a time wherever possible. And with salads, we just keep them relatively simple. 4, 5, 6 ingredients maximum, okay, like that. The simpler it is, the easier it is for your body to digest it. I hope that helps. Hazy Monkey, I'm doing great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. So I hope that helps you. All right, let me see where we were here. What's wrong with eating raw organic egg yolk alone or last meal instead of avocado? Difficult to digest, creates imbalances, toxic. If you eat cholesterol, your liver makes less. What's the harm? If you eat cholesterol, your liver doesn't make less. There's absolutely no evidence for that being the case as far as I know. And dietary cholesterol is not something we should be consuming. Your body is intended to create everything it needs on its own, not to be consuming anything. All animal products, eggs included, are very high in protein. Excess protein makes you age and die faster. So what's the harm of eating egg yolks? You're going to age and die faster, okay? There's no reason to do that. There's absolutely nothing we need from egg yolks that we can't get much more safely in a much better fashion from fruits and leafy greens. So no animal products are the best animal products, okay? None whatsoever. I don't know if mixing a lot of fruits at this time is a bad idea. Yep, not so great. Okay, Jill says, Loren, how can I get started with the raw food diet? I really want to, but I don't know how. I can start well in the morning, all fruits, but by 3 p.m. I crave cooked foods, then I relapse again. Well, most people go through the same thing. What happens is when you begin to eat only fruits early in the day, your body begins to detoxify. As you begin to detoxify some of the stuff from the cooked food sitting in your system, you're going to crave those things in the same way that an alcoholic, nicotine addict, cocaine addict, heroin addict is going to crave their poison as the body is dumping it from the system. So one way to do this is to work with me, have me guide you through a fast, because after fasting 21 days or more, you won't have those cravings anymore. Okay, they'll be gone. It won't be an issue. So that's one strategy that works really well. Okay, I hope that helps you. Welcome all the folks joining us now. Vegan Mom, Marissa, Sonia, hello there. Good to see you all. Anna, Mom Bob, Hazy Monkey, and that 21 days is strictly water only. Yes, absolutely, water only. But again, the key is to actually know what you're doing. So, no one who really understands fasting would recommend anyone go more than about 7 days without having experienced guidance. I can guide you through the process and be able to see whether you're okay or not okay and getting what you need or not getting what you need. That's going to be the way to do it. Tessa says, which type of fruit is best to eat prior to working out? No type of fruit is best to eat prior to working out. Eating should always happen after exercise, never before. If you've got food in your belly when you're working out, it's a burden on you. It's not something the body wants to do. Okay, so I'm usually up by 5, working out, doing calls throughout the morning, giving a lecture at 11 o'clock, seeing clients from 12 until 3, and then I have breakfast. at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. 10 hours after I woke up and after working out, and doing everything else. So there's absolutely no reason to eat before you work out. It's a bad idea. Okay, it's not going to help you. All right. Okay, Queen of Dreams. The ammonia smell is a byproduct of protein breakdown in the GI when the liver isn't functioning well. Just wondering if you had any experience with it. Well, we've had many people with liver issues, and we've never had any significant issue with anyone having to deal with the smell of ammonia. So it's not something that's come up very often. At Tanglewood, with more than 10,000 fasts, it's not something that I see with any kind of regularity whatsoever. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Is there any harm in getting just one colonic? Is it just harmful to repeatedly get them? No, it's best to not get them at all. It's best to allow your body to do what it needs to do without trying to manipulate it into a particular outcome. Okay, colonics flush out beneficial bacteria, including your gut biome. They alter the pH. They, they weaken the bowel muscle. There's no reason to use them. Okay. If you've been eating poorly most of your life, the thing to do is to fast properly so your body can eliminate all the garbage. I wouldn't get a single colonic. I wouldn't recommend it. All right, Linda says, thank you so much for your information. Me and the other half are considering making a visit to your wellness center. Well, Linda, if you are ready to take your health to the highest level possible, guaranteed, if you're open and coachable, then come on down. I mean, there's nothing like a properly conducted fast. And what we do, we have people all the time who are just seeing amazing results. And that's how we've stayed full now for more than 26 years without advertising. Okay, it's incredible. People refer other people, they come back, they bring people with. It's an amazing thing. Hello there, Danexa, nice to see you. Jacob, good to see you here. Miloronic, I hope you're doing well. Gina, nice to see you. All right, Angela, hello there. Aroba, you're welcome, Shayla. You're very welcome, Tessa. Okay, Oli, hello there. Always a free bird. Hey, Sawdust, Flavors of Light. Hey, good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Okay, Penis Khalil, hello there. Good to see you. Okay, so let me come back over here to YouTube. Let's see what we've got here. Charles asks if it's okay to eat mint during a water fast to help eliminate the bad mouth taste. It's not. You can't consume anything with calories or nutrients, so only water. Because there are nutrients, well, thank you, Jacob, good to see you too. If there are nutrients in your bloodstream, and mint contains nutrients, it's a plant, then your body thinks there's food coming. So I wouldn't use mint. I wouldn't consume anything except water, just clean water. That's it, that's all you need. That's how you're gonna get the best results. Hello, Peter, good to see you. Peter says, hi, Loren, greetings. How frequently seawater can be used mixed in irrigation? Well, if you do this properly, Peter, what we do is we will take 1 gallon of seawater and combine it with 49 gallons of rain. So the seawater becomes 2% of the total, okay? And why we do this, folks, Peter understands, but for anybody else, seawater contains all the minerals. So if you use a gallon of seawater, I mean, if you just put seawater on your tomatoes and lettuce and cucumbers, you'll kill the plants because of the salt content of the seawater. But if you dilute it down 1 to 49, what happens is now you have all of the minerals. All the minerals are in the seawater in a diluted concentration. Now you can water your plants with it and they're perfectly happy, but they're getting all the nutrients they need. Okay, if you don't have the minerals in your food's not going to be very nutritious. And unfortunately, that's what's going on for most people. So this is a way to ensure that your food contains all the nutrients you need. Okay, I hope that helps. All right. Let's see here. Flavors of Light says, hi, Loren. Can you please debunk the myth of deficiencies? I believe the problem in the world today is toxicity. Okay, well, I would suggest, I think deficiencies are absolutely real. There's no question about it. The thing that's important to understand, though, is that they're often caused not by a lack of the nutrient in question, I mean, deficiencies suggest you don't have what you need, or you're not getting what you need. You know, it could be a deficiency of sodium, for instance. So sodium deficiency is not usually because one doesn't have enough sodium. It's because their body isn't properly absorbing what's already there. That's the issue. If you don't digest something, you can't absorb it. Okay. And if you don't absorb it, you can't assimilate it. And so you're not going to get the nutrients you need, even if they're present in the food, if there's a problem with the body, how the body's functioning. Okay. So in most cases, deficiencies are caused by two things. There's only two reasons you could have a deficiency. One is the diet is insufficient. Two, the body isn't working very well. And what's happening, I believe, in most cases is both. Okay, the diet's insufficient. Most people don't eat an optimal diet, and the body's not working very well. Okay, so hey, Guzel, nice to see you here. Rosh Chantal, nice to see you. Ivana, hello there. Good to see you. Okay, so if that's what's happening, if the diet's insufficient and or your body's not working well, you're going to wind up being deficient in something. So how do you fix that? Well, taking a supplement's not fixing anything. In fact, it tends to make it worse because your body will become dependent over time on the supplement. So really the thing to do is to heal the body, cleanse the body, so it begins to working properly. And then we can relatively easily get what we need from eating an optimal diet. Okay, as I mentioned before, I've taken no supplements now in 30 years. There's no reason anyone should need to take a supplement if they're eating properly. The reason it happens is because, not because the diet doesn't have what they need, but because the body's not working properly. So we want to make sure we cover both those things. Apanis Khalil says, Loren, do you think it's possible to heal damage in the nervous system? No, I don't think it's possible. I know it's possible, okay? And I know that because we heal people with nervous system damage all the time. We have clients all the time who come and leave much, much healthier. This happens literally all the time. Probably at least 2 or 3 clients per year that have some sort of nervous system damage. And we almost always see these conditions healing significantly, if not completely, right? I mean, complete's hard to say, but we'll see such enormous shift in most cases that it's no problem, okay? Melivares, Mireille, nice to see you. Rustlin, nice to see you here. How you doing? Okay, so I hope this answers your question. But yes, there's no question you can heal nervous system damage if you fast both long enough and properly. That's going to be key. Okay, that's going to be absolutely key. No question about it. All right. Amir says, ever recommended a client to sip 7.5 liters of water per day for several days or more in a row? Are they more in danger of electrolyte issues than those who only need 5 liters for the same period of time? Yeah, essentially the answer is yes. Of course, it's going to be different. You know, what's pushing the envelope for each person. It could well be that my body can handle 5 liters and someone else's body could handle 7.5. And so if I'm drinking 5 liters, I might be pushing the envelope for my body and potentially creating an issue where somebody else, that could happen much sooner. Okay, and this is why it's important to understand the numbers and to carefully go up in terms of how much water you're drinking so we can stop when we get what we need rather than getting more than that. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right. All right, let's see what we got over here. Theodore asks, oh, where we go? Now I lost it. I clicked on the message and now it seemed to disappear, everything. There we go. Is it possible to regain muscle and bone density you have lost from doing stupid shit while trying to heal? Would love to fast with you maybe next year. Yes, Theodore. We see people who regain muscle all the time and bone density as well. In fact, to regain bone density, the first step is to balance out the pH of the body. So what happens is most people, most of the things that most people, including animal products, right? I mean, I see these people eating a carnivore diet. Animal products are acid forming. What acid forming foods do is they tend to lower the pH of your bloodstream. As if your blood's pH drops more than a tiny amount, your body is in serious danger. It can kill you. So what does your body do? It looks for something alkaline it can bring into solution. and it takes calcium from your bones and teeth in order to balance out the excess acidity, the low pH. Calcium raises the pH back up towards where it should be. Okay, just moving back a little bit. And so that's if you're willing to give your body a chance, it'll balance out the pH. And then afterwards, the key is to eat right, exercise, and get some sunlight, sun exposure, because you need all those things in order to rebuild bone density. To rebuild muscle mass, all most people have to do is exercise and eat enough food. Okay, it doesn't take anything significant beyond that. So that should do it. All right. Jeffrey says, see you next week. Looking forward to it. Theodore says, you're such an inspiration. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Theodore. I'm here to share as much information as I can. I know that virtually everybody can feel and function incredibly well if they're willing to do what they need to do. And so the key for most people is simply, before you can do what you need to do, you have to know what it is, right? So the first step is you learn what it is you need to do. The second step is you actually do it. Having knowledge, they say knowledge is power. Knowledge is potential power. If you don't do anything with it, it's not going to help you. But if you're willing to apply that information, it's amazing what happens. We see so many people come to us who've been trying to regain their health. I have a man right now who broke his fast with us about 2 weeks ago. And he'd fasted many times before, but never with me. He'd fasted differently. And he's been in serious pain for years, for decades. And he said to me just last week, he said, this is like the first time in 20 years I've had no pain whatsoever. Okay, that's what's possible. Almost everything can heal when we give the body a chance to heal. All right, Roxanne says, hi, Mr. Lockman. I'm on a 21-day water fast. I think I'm taking too long to sip my 16 ounces within an hour. Is it okay if I don't meet my 1 gallon per day? I can't answer that, Roxanne. The only way to know if you're getting enough water is to actually properly interpret daily vital signs. So what I can tell you is that virtually nobody gets the same results fasting without having experienced guidance. You have to really understand what the vital signs mean. You have to understand what's happening in the body so you can relax and know that you're doing what you need to do. My recommendation for you, frankly, would be to break your fast and start over again when you have experienced guidance, okay? Because doing this on your own is virtually never a very good way to do it. I don't know how much water your body needs. Most of the people I work with need more than 4 liters. Most people need at least 4 liters at the beginning of the process, but how much they need goes up. And the only way you know if you're getting what you need is by properly interpreting your daily vital signs. So I wouldn't encourage you to continue. I can't tell you, whether it's okay if you don't meet 1 gallon a day. Most people don't need more than 1 gallon a day at the beginning of the process. So it's probably not okay, but we don't know what you need. I don't have any way of knowing that. All right. MF Nikon says, I'd love to visit Costa Rica. Well, you should. Make it happen. You can do it. It's incredible. Come to our fruit festival from February 17th to 24th. Our website is up now, tanglewoodfruitfestival.com. It's an amazing event, incredible fruit, a great time. Come to the fruit festival, stay on to fast afterwards from February 25th on. It's a life-changing thing, I guarantee you. Okay, if you can make it happen, make it happen. Angelo says, I'm intermittent fasting currently. Well, so am I, Angelo. I've been intermittent fasting now since long before the term intermittent fasting was invented. 30 years now, eating 1 or 2 meals a day, usually in a relatively short window. And I say usually because I want to be transparent, and I'm on vacation now, and sometimes snacking where I don't normally do that. We picked up more than 10 kilos of amazing fresh figs the other day. I love figs. And so I'm eating figs when I don't really need to eat anything sometimes. But, again, this is a short vacation. I'm sorry to say, in only about 5 days, I'll be headed back to Costa Rica and whatever it is. Yeah, about 5 days from now. And, I'll be back on my normal routine where it's 1 or 2 meals a day without snacks. So yes, How would you explain the benefits of a colonic? Sounds like it's just a symptom suppression. Yeah, well, the benefit is, it may help you to flush out some old material or stuff that's stuck in your system. But I'd much rather allow the body to do that all by itself. And that's what happens with our clients. The body is able to get this stuff out without needing to do colonics or enemas, both of which are harmful to the body and have been shown to impair your eliminative function afterwards. So you get the colonic, and then later on you have a harder time eliminating properly. No, thank you. Okay, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. Do you think lower back pain is related to the kidney? It can be. It's not always. It could be muscular. It could be skeletal. It could be lots of things. But your kidneys are in your lower back, and so oftentimes when someone has lower back pain, it is related to kidneys. It's impossible to say. I mean, it's not always that. It could be something else. Okay, it could be something else, but it could be kidneys. Absolutely. Fructose. Bypassing the need for insulin is a good way to allow diabetes symptoms to subside. Would you agree? Well, eating fruit is a great way to heal the body or help heal the body, allow the body to heal itself from diabetes, especially type 2. Type 1, a situation where the body's not making enough insulin, may or may not heal from it. But the bottom line is we're not meant to need tons of insulin. The problem is that most people don't eat a diet that ever belonged to the human body. And of course, some people say, well, that's why I eat a carnivore diet. By eating only animal products, we don't need any insulin because there's no sugar, there's no carbohydrates. And that's true. However, that's not a good idea. As I've explained before, eating animal products alone means absolutely you're going to age and die faster. Okay, there's absolutely nothing in common. I mean, very little in common between our bodies, our digestive physiology, and those of animals that are meant to eat animals. So that's not the way to do it. But eating fruit allows you to bypass much of the issue and feel and function amazingly well because we're fruit eaters, not meat eaters. I know what you meant, Angela. Is intermittent fasting the best to do with high viral load and severe sensory issues? Not necessarily. Intermittent fasting can be helpful, but it's powerless compared to therapeutic fasting. And so even with a high viral load, if it were me, I would be fasting probably for 21 days or more. Again, every case is different, and I'm not telling you what to do. You have to make your own decisions. If it were me, what I would do if I were you is I would complete an application form to fast with me, and I'll respond to you and tell you what I think you would be best for you. But there's nothing like a properly conducted therapeutic fast to allow your body to truly heal. Okay, that's going to be the very best that anyone can do. Okay, can I do 1 week fasting with foamy urine problems? Greetings from Spain. Yeah, you can, but that's unlikely to resolve the issue. It's probably not long enough. I mean, you can fast for a week, of course, but you'd be much better off fasting for 21 days. The fact that there's an issue means that there's more going on. It's rarely one thing. Okay, that's likely to be a symptom of something else. You really want to give the body a chance to heal. If it were me, I'd be fasting for 21 days. Okay, that would be my recommendation. All right, I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's see here. How to heal Crohn's and colitis, constipation symptoms. Fasting is the way to heal the lower GI tract. We literally see this happen all the time. We work with people all the time. Okay. Amir says, if you hadn't taken those 2 ibuprofens, hadn't slept, would your fractured hip have healed? In hindsight, was it a good decision? Would you take painkiller in some situation again to sleep? Well, it would depend. I mean, I've broken a lot of bones. I've been in a lot of pain before. I tended in the past to beat my body up quite a bit with motorcycles and quadricycles and body surfing and rock climbing and mountain biking and all these things that these are some of my favorite things to do. And so I've beat my body up quite a bit, and I've had a lot of pain, and I've never taken a painkiller. But this was to the point where, as you know, I wasn't able to sleep 4 nights in a row, and on the 5th night thought maybe a little bit of sleep would be helpful. It would have still healed. It just, it's going to be harder to heal if you're not resting as completely as you can be. So in that situation, I think it made sense for me. I'm not apologizing for it. I don't think I need to make excuses for it. There are times where you're in such intense pain, maybe it's okay to do something even if it's not optimal. Okay, obviously, much better to avoid taking painkillers, as I've done with every other accident for the last 30 years. I've taken nothing any other time except this one. And that's a lot of times, by the way, and it was perfectly fine. But in this particular case, 4 nights without any sleep, I thought it made sense to go ahead and take an ibuprofen. Okay, I like the whole food approach to refined sugars. No refined sugars. Yeah, exactly. I mean, refined sugars are toxic garbage that mess with the body and create all kinds of problems. Eating whole foods, including fruits, means we have none of these problems whatsoever. Most people imagine that you can't eat fruit if you've got an issue with blood sugar. If you've got diabetes, you can't eat fruit. That's simply not the case. It's not true, okay? Because fruits have a low glycemic load. They have relatively little impact on the body's blood sugar. And so we can eat them with impunity. We can eat them and not have these issues that people are concerned about, okay? It doesn't create an insulin problem. It doesn't create a blood sugar problem. It's simply not that way. It just doesn't work that way. All right, Jeffrey says, probably I'll return to the United States by Halloween. I've had enough of Cancun and Mexico. Yeah, in Mexico. Yeah, sure. I understand. I have various friends leaving Cancun, leaving that area. It's okay to visit. I wouldn't want to live there. Costa Rica is amazing. If it were me, I'd be, if you can live wherever you want, I would personally not be going back. I mean, obviously, you know that because I'm 17 years out of the U.S. U.S. is okay, but Costa Rica is a lot better as far as I'm concerned, okay, in terms of quality of life. Is the higher good fat intake healthy, like avocados and coconut oil, etc.? Well, our bodies need to consume some fatty acids, and we get fatty acids from all foods. So as I said earlier, I'm not sure if you were here earlier, what I said earlier was that we get all the amino acids we need by eating watermelons and papayas and mangoes and bananas and everything else, because every single living cell, the structure of the cell is protein, okay? The cell nucleus of every cell is made of fat. So every living cell contains fatty acids. We don't need concentrated fats to get what we need. Now, if your body's very inefficient, you might do better off eating some avocados, okay? But no one should ever, by the way, coconut oil is not healthy. The question includes coconut oil here. No, absolutely not. Never. You should never eat coconut oil. Okay. You can eat a little bit of soft coconut flesh, but coconut oil, the oil pressed from coconuts, there's no such thing as a healthy oil. All right. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. Okay. I hope that makes sense. You want to keep your fat intake relatively low. Can fasting also heal craniocervical instability due to weak ligaments? Well, your ligaments can heal. Okay, given the right opportunity. There's no reason ligaments can't heal. I'm currently on day 5 of a 7-day water fast. I've done this for 2 years, but recently have had severe constipation. When I break the fast, how would you break your 7-day fast? With high water content foods. Honestly, your problem isn't that, I mean, it may well be, Lamont, that you're not breaking the fast properly, but you're also not fasting long enough and probably don't know enough about what you're doing to be doing this on your own. So my recommendation for you, if you're willing, if you're open and coachable, and you are committed to feeling and functioning as well as possible, work with me for 4 weeks or more, okay, 21 days or more. I will give you in writing, unconditionally guaranteed, that you will take your health to the highest level you've experienced in at least a decade or more. Now, for some people, it's going to be their entire life, but for most people, it's going to be at least a decade. If you're coachable and open, it's incredible what your body can do. But you really have to understand the process and do it long enough so that you're getting all the benefits. You're not going to get the benefits on a 7-day fast that you need to feel and function as well as possible. All right? Passion for Wellness says, I got an electric shock on my left side and my heart has discomfort. Have you had any experience with this of the body last week? Have you had an experience with this of the body? I'm sorry about that last part. It's confusing me a little bit. Have I had an experience with people having these electric shocks and some pain? Yeah, absolutely. It's not an unusual thing. if, depending on how bad you're feeling, you might want to get something checked out. There can be electrical issues, which could be very serious, but in most cases, it probably means nothing. If it were me, I'd be fasting, and I'd be hiring me to guide you through the process to do it as properly as possible, because it makes all the difference in the world. Okay, it's an incredible process when it's done correctly. Okay, hope that makes sense. Hazy Monkey says, I don't know how to heal my hemorrhoids, rectal prolapse. I've done 45 days juice fast and nothing healed, and I work at a physical job, so water fasting will be difficult. Well, you need to take time off, Hazy Monkey, like everyone else does. Wish I could go to Tanglewood. It's just not possible for me. Everything's possible, okay? I hear you. When you say it's not possible, what you mean is, I think what you mean is right now, you don't know how to do it. And I get that, okay? I get it. It might seem like it's not in the realm of possibility for you. But what if the truth is it's entirely possible, but you don't know how to do it? Okay, so what that means is you ask the universe, how can I make this happen? See, I never say, well, I just did. I was going to say, I never say never. I would never say, I can't do that. What I would do is I would say, how can I do that? How can I make that happen? You ask an open-ended question to your amazing brain, you get an answer. How can I create my life right now so I can go spend a month, 6 weeks at Tanglewood, somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks? How can I do that? Okay? And just let that percolate. Okay? The answer will come up. There is a way, I guarantee you. There always is. There always is. And that's what needs to happen. I mean, that's what's going to allow your body to heal when it's done properly. That's what's going to happen. All right. Lamont Hartman says, I'm open to hear more. I tried raw for a few months and found it not sustainable for me at this time. I'm plant-based and have not had meat in 3 years. I've lost 100 pounds on my journey. Well, that's fantastic, Lamont. But, again, just ask yourself a simple question, okay? Are you committed to feeling and functioning as well as possible? If the answer is yes, okay, and you're willing to do what you need to do, I guarantee you I will help you feel and function better than you ever have. It doesn't fail if you're willing to do what you need to do. It doesn't fail, okay? There's no reason everyone here, listening, watching, can't feel and function amazingly well. The issue is that it may not be easy to get there. You have to be willing to do what you need to do. If you're willing to do that, incredible things happen every time, every single time. All right, we're running out of time here. We've got just a few minutes left. Let me see what else we've got here. Let's see. Aaron says, I want to fast at the moment at 38 hours right now. Not sure how far I want to go. How far do you think is proper for ridding of addiction and bettering mental health? I've done a 15-day water fast before. Well, I would suggest that you probably want to fast somewhere between 21 and 30 days. However, I would suggest that fasting more than a few days, 5 to 7 absolute maximum on your own is probably not very wise and is probably not very likely to give you the results that you're looking for, because you have to actually understand how to do this properly. Okay, it's not an easy thing to do properly, and you really have to know that. So while it's an amazing process, it's worth doing it correctly, right? Someone once said, if something's worth doing, it's worth doing correctly. Get guidance. Let me guide you through the process. If you can't come to me, I can work with you remotely. We have an amazing remote fasting program. If you're not aware of it, we have an amazing program where every day you get an email from me, you get a video from me, so you're getting educated, motivated, inspired through the process. I'm teaching you what you need to do to continue after the fast, feeling and functioning as well as possible, okay? During the fast, we speak on a group call every day, every single day, okay? You need to have a couple of tools. They're not expensive. You get a blood pressure monitor, a thermometer, a scale. We send you a spreadsheet. You complete it. We go over the numbers, what they mean, what they're telling us, what you need to do, okay? We make sure that you keep as safe as possible, that you're doing what you need to do to maximize your benefits, your success. That's virtually impossible to do unless you have a lot of experience. And obviously you don't have a lot of experience, right? I mean, people have done it many times on their own. I think I mentioned earlier, you may not have been here, I have a guy who just completed a process with me. Okay, he fasted many times on his own. And yet he just said to me a couple days ago, this is by far the most powerful thing I've ever done for myself. Now, he'd fasted many times before, for longer than he fasted with me, but he never got the same results. Why is that? Because he doesn't have the experience to have done what he did properly. Now he did it properly for the first time. Okay, that makes all the difference in the world. All right, Bakul Data says, if a person is painful or bit disturbed dreams, does it imply a person has some pain or inflammation that manifests as a dream? No, I don't think it implies that. It implies that your body's detoxifying for sure, because that's where these painful dreams come from. You're very welcome, Hazy Monkey. Okay, I hope that makes sense, Bakul. It's, your body's detoxing. Give the body a chance to really detoxify, and those dreams, those painful, disturbing dreams go away. Aaron says, I drink tap water, but apparently it's the third cleanest in the country. How dangerous can tap water be? Well, if tap water contains chlorine, it can be very dangerous. I wouldn't drink tap water myself unless you're living in a place where there's no chlorine whatsoever. I've been in places in the world where our tap water, if you come to Tanglewood and turn on a tap anywhere, it's untreated spring water. Okay, it's amazing. But if you're in the US, you're probably drinking chlorine, which is likely carcinogenic, very toxic to the body, could be fluoride as well, and who knows what else. I personally wouldn't recommend that. Okay, I wouldn't do that. All right. Hey, Frederick Shirley, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate all the work you're doing on Facebook. Frederick says, what about healing hepatitis C? Well, like anything else, Frederick, our bodies are amazing. Can the liver regenerate and heal? Yes, absolutely. There's no reason we can't heal from hepatitis. The key is to give your body the conditions it needs. Now, again, there's no guarantee because every single case is different. But we've had people heal from hepatitis C, and there's no reason that anyone can't do the same thing. It depends on the specific situations. Depends on what else the body needs to do. Usually when someone has hepatitis, it's not just, it's usually a little bit more complicated, right? There's almost always more than one thing going on because a toxic, dehydrated body is going to manifest itself in various different ways. So there is no reason that can't heal. And if it were me, I would definitely get guidance through a long fast of 21 days or more, and then make the very best choices possible. Okay, that's what I would do personally. All right, folks, I'm noticing that I am late for my next group call. I got a group of fasters right now I need to go see. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend and enjoy the beautiful weekend wherever you are. I will be back live from Costa Rica next Friday. Okay, next Friday morning I'll be live from Costa Rica, and I'll look forward to seeing you then. Have a fantastic weekend and next week, and I'll see you again soon. By the way, if you found this beneficial, let me ask that you show the love, right? If you're here on YouTube with me, give me a thumbs up. If you're on Instagram, give it a like. Okay, you can share the link on your page, on your groups, on your channels. Let's get this information to as many people as possible, because most people could live at a much higher level of health and vitality, but they don't know how. Let's help them figure out how to do that. Okay, guys, I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.